Okay, it's 9:30. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. And if the clerk could take the roll, please.
Commissioner Look.
Here.
Commissioner Brastad.
Here.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Here.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Here.
Commissioner West. Here. Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
Okay, and the first item is tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Then we have review of checks issued from Finance and Central Services and from Human Services. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Then we have approval of the minutes from the December 7th and December 8th county board meetings. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So today we have 3 items under Chair's remarks. We've partnered with the local nonprofit Mental Wellness Campaign for Anoka County for the last 10 years. Their mission is to promote community awareness, understanding, and acceptance of mental health care. They've really focused on the reduction of stigma around mental illness. Some of you may have heard about or even participated in the annual Mental Wellness Walk held at the Coon Rapids Dam. This is just one of the very many ways that we work together to try to erase the stigma of mental illness. We know that part of the reason that people don't seek help sometimes is just because of the stigma around the whole issue. I'd like to introduce Denise Kermis, Manager in Behavioral Health, who serves on the Mental Wellness Campaign Board. And with her is Donna McDonald, 2018 co-chair of the board. Donna is a former Anoka County employee and has served on the board for a number of years. And they're joining us today to talk about some of the accomplishments of the mental health campaign over the years and to let us know about their upcoming celebration, 10-year celebration on January 18th. Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and staff. I'm Denise Kermis, Manager of Behavioral Health and Adult Services here at Anoka County, and with me today I have Donna McDonald. Very excited to have her here today to present with us. The Mental Wellness Campaign. We appreciate the chance to check in with you today for just a quick look at a few of our 2017 highlights and to let you know about a special event that we have next month. In 2017, we celebrated our 10 years of nonprofit status. Our focus has remained steady since inception in 2004, when the idea came out of the county's mental health strategic plan. The group's focus is to provide public education, prevent mental health issues, and to reduce stigma. Looking for the right page. Here are just a few highlights of our work in 2017. Hiring Carol Hendricks, a former county employee, for a few hours each month has made a tremendous impact in our ability to deliver on our mission. Our organization is so much stronger than ever going into 2018, and I want to have Carol Hendricks stand up right now. She's our coordinator. She was hired in April, and right from the very first day of her work, she jumped right in and did a tremendous job. We had our mental wellness walk that next month, and from the very first day, she started working really hard and got us very organized, and she's been just wonderful. We really appreciate all the work that you're doing. We also are very excited that we welcomed 8 new board members to our campaign, and we've organized our very first fundraising event.
So what you see here is the invitation to our fundraising event on January 18th. And the flyer and tickets are available, and I gotta get this right so I don't mess it up, www.mwcac.org. And there will be a link there for where you might be able to get some tickets. As I said, it's on the 18th, and we plan to have some fun activities. It's going to be a fun evening and some hearty appetizers. And our speaker will be Janet Muth. And Janet is the Director of Health Promotion at Carleton College, and she's the author of the Happy Hour curriculum. And as you can see, her title is Taking Back Happy Hour, which is a rather intriguing title, as I've told it to people, and they've said, what? So what exactly is Happy Hour? Happy Hour was designed to be a community and community-wide promotion initiative. It was launched in 2012 in Rice County, and there are many ideas out there that tell us what we need to do to make us happy. But this Happy Hour program only uses information that has been verified by scientific research. And Janet continues to improve the curriculum only with vetted kind of information. So it's really a well scientifically based program. What you see here are the 10 sessions that teach us how to be more engaged in life and build skills to make us better at all kinds of relationships at home and work and in the community. So like we go to a gym for physical fitness, Happy Hour will be mental fitness for the mind. This Happy Hour is for everyone. We have people trained to provide the Happy Hour curriculum, and we intend to get more people trained because we anticipate that once this gets out there, the demand will grow. We're in conversations with a few entities to be among the first to implement Happy Hour in Anoka County in 2018. And money raised at our January 18th event will help keep the cost of Happy Hour down and accessible to more groups. We thank you again for the opportunity to join you today and tell you a little bit about the highlights of 2017 and our plans for our new initiative in 2018. And we welcome any questions or feedback.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Not, thank you so much, Denise and Donna, for your leadership in continuing to move this great organization forward. And it's so important to get the word out that mental health is just as important as physical health. And we really embarked upon this back when we went through the strategic plan and moved into the whole recovery model of mental wellness. And so we're so appreciative of your efforts, not only moving forward, but throughout the years. And again, would like to invite everyone to participate in their 10-year celebration and fundraiser Thursday, January 18th, and go to that website to obtain tickets. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you for your support.
Our second item this morning is recognition of the incredible work done by our staff. Over the years, our employees have been challenged to find new and innovative ways to deliver services to residents. And a lot of that is surrounding our lean process and looking at making things much more efficient. One of those innovative ideas was honored recently by the Humphrey School of Public Affairs at the University of Minnesota with the Local Government Innovations Award, or LGIA. This awards program recognizes the creative ways government agencies are making Minnesota better and doing things differently. This year, our child care licensing area was selected as one of just 5 county LGIA award winners in the entire state. We're creating an online child care licensing process that's much more convenient and more accessible for people who are considering becoming licensed child care providers, that they're able to access that information when it's convenient for them rather than when we happen to be open. I'd like to invite Jerry Peterson, Director of Social Services and Behavioral Health, to introduce the team and tell us a little bit more about the project. And I have to say, we were so disappointed that we could not go and cheer you on and be there to celebrate with you. We had our Truth and Taxation hearing that night, so we were unable to be there with you, but so proud of your great work. Jerry?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, for the record, Jerry Peterson, Director of Social Services and Behavioral Health. Again, thank you so much just for the opportunity to recognize a few of our talented and innovative staff in the receipt of the Local Government Innovation Award. As mentioned, the award that our department won this year was the creation of an online process for childcare licensing to provide more access and increase the licensing completion rate. This was an effort to not only give potential providers, as said, quick and timely orientation information, but also to help in any way possible to add more childcare licensed providers. Some of you may or may not know the state decline in childcare licensed providers has been significant. And so for staff to do anything they can to help with that effort is seen as a positive thing. So without any further ado here, though, let me introduce some of the innovative brain power behind this effort. George, I'm going to just ask you guys to stand so people can see you. George Burrell, he's the manager over the service area that includes childcare licensing. Evelyn Nelson, yeah, I know these guys love this part of it. Supervisor of the childcare licensing area, and if anybody has spent any time with Evelyn, you know where the creativity comes from. So, Dave Schwank, communications coordinator from the communications department, and without his abilities, much of this work, and now in this day and age, it seems like it's so easy to put all that stuff together and make it look really good, and but it's talented people like Dave that help contribute to that. And then Beth Ignell, child care licensor. She played the role of actually providing a lot of the specific information on the online training and some of the voice stuff, so thanks, Beth. Evelyn and her staff work with Dave to put together a product that's been useful and helpful to potential child care license providers. Just one little stat, this online option is producing about an 80% completion rate. Whereas before we used to send out a lot of, we had to put together paper, I made it sound like it was me. Had to put together paper packets and give them to them, and a lot of times, to get then actually to somebody to actually apply, the completion rate was very, very minimal. So with the online process and letting people engage once they see about an 80% completion rate. So that's extremely significant, an awesome outcome. So I know you have a busy morning this morning, so we'll keep this short. On behalf of the staff and the Social Services Department, I want to recognize the receipt of this award and thank you for your support and just helping us be innovative. So thank you very much.
I think they deserve a round of applause. Commissioner Schulte.
Madam Chair, I would just like to comment, having seen all the applications for the LGIA, as the Humphrey School asked me to be one of the judges for this, I will tell you that every judge on the panel was moved by the thoroughness of the Anoka County application and the demonstration of its functionality. The way we write our applications sometimes, or the way we fill out these applications for awards, is stellar compared to other communities and other counties. And I applaud our staff at Anoka County, particularly your division, for your work on this particular application. It was a unanimous decision of that board that this was far and away one of the best applications out there. So thank you for that. I mean, over and above and beyond the content of what you've done with the application process for child care licensing was the ability to fill out the application for the award so well. So for that, thank you.
Commissioner, thank you. Once again, recognition of the staff and their hard work on that. So.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, and congratulations to the entire team. We just, really the ultimate winners in this whole situation are the citizens, because we've got this new streamlined process, and it's so much easier for them to be able to access. So again, thank you so much for your hard work, and congratulations on a job well done. We appreciate it. Okay, our third item under Chair's remarks today, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our County Attorney, Tony Palumbo. Tony was recently awarded the Distinguished Service Award, the highest award given by the Minnesota County Attorneys Association at their annual award ceremony held earlier this month. And once again, it just happened to be held on the evening of our Truth in Taxation hearing. We weren't able to be there to show our support. This award is presented to a county attorney who has demonstrated a history of significant leadership, strive to improve the quality of justice, and whose activity has increased and enhanced public awareness of the office. Just to highlight a few of Tony's accomplishments. Tony's well-known as Minnesota's data practice expert and is a go-to source on the topic. He's a driving force behind efforts to fight the epidemic of elder abuse, including physical and mental abuse and financial exploitation. Tony is leading the charge to stop human trafficking in our communities. He's partnered with the Minnesota Attorney General's Office on Dose of Reality to prevent prescription painkiller abuse in Minnesota. He was the Lawyers Board of Professional Responsibility Volunteer of the Year in 2006. He received the Minnesota State Bar Association's Public Attorney Award of Excellence in 2010 and the Minnesota Lawyers Attorney of the Year Award in 2013. He's on the Board of Directors for the Minnesota County Attorneys Association, and in 2017, he served on the Governor's Council on Law Enforcement and Community Relations. In his remarks about Tony, the president of the organization said he has continually demonstrated exemplary work and dedication as an outstanding attorney and his commitment to the good of the community. Tony is dedicated to his family, profession, community, and Anoka County residents. It is a high honor to be recognized by your peers, and I can think of no one more deserving to receive this distinguished award. So congratulations, Tony, and thank you for your service to the Anoka County residents, and we are so incredibly proud of your accomplishments, and congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really certainly appreciate that. Madam Chair, members of the board, I was very surprised and certainly honored to receive this award. But I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge all the hard work of the people that work in the county attorney's office and the myriad of problems that they have to face every day. That certainly helps, I think, promote the welfare of the citizens, certainly of Anoka County, as well as the state of Minnesota. And I certainly want to thank them for all their hard work and dedication. It certainly makes it easier for me to be the county attorney when we have such hardworking people in the office. So I do want to thank the board for this recognition this morning. I certainly appreciate it. But I think I would also be remiss if we did not acknowledge some additional recognition of two other awards. At this point, I think I will turn that over to Commissioner Schulte. If you would, Commissioner, please.
Thank you, Tony, and again, congratulations on your award. Well, I'd like to share two other prestigious awards that were received at our AMC, Association of Minnesota Counties Annual Conference in December up in St. Cloud. Commissioner Silveraja, our chairwoman, received the AMC's President's Award. It's given out annually to an individual who has deep history of public service to their community and country. This was a real surprise to everybody. Not that she wasn't very, very deserving. That part wasn't surprising. What was surprising is they kept their cards really close to the vest. There was only one person here that knew she was getting that award, and that was Jerry Soma, who is the ultimate secret keeper, evidently. It was a very emotional evening as the president of the Association of Minnesota Counties, Gary Hendricks from Swift County, went on to read a list of accomplishments. And there are 447 county commissioners in the state of Minnesota from 87 different counties, all of whom are very accomplished. So it probably took 30% of the way through that list before most of us figured out, this is Rhonda. And as I looked around the room at my colleagues, it was an emotional night. It was a big deal for Anoka County to have Commissioner Silveraja receive that award. She was first elected to our board in 2003 and has served as the chairwoman for the last 7 years. She started working for the county in the Economic Assistance Department. She worked there for 12 years and discovered a passion for helping people and advocating for families going through difficult times. And that hasn't changed. She still does that today, like she still works in that department, and that's pretty impressive. She spends countless hours in St. Paul. Those of you that get down to the Capitol to testify or watch what goes on knows that she carries a lot of clout down in St. Paul, and she's there working tirelessly to make sure she's advancing Anoka County citizens and Minnesota citizens' needs. and that was recognized that night. She spends time with the Greater MSP Gateway. She is on their executive committee there, or on their board. She's considered one of the state's foremost experts in the field of human services, which is an area I do not like to get into. That's very technical and obviously very important, but many people turn to her for that knowledge. In addition to her work as the chair of the Board of Human Services Committee, she serves on the AMC Board of Directors with me. She, as I mentioned, on the Greater MSP Board of Directors and the Workforce Development Board, and co-chairs the Greater Metropolitan Workforce Council. Some major accomplishments: she's lowered property taxes for the first time in 40 years, paying down $50 million in county debt, championing innovation and transparency, made it her mission to raise awareness about the danger of heroin and opioid use, and is a strong advocate for job training programs. One of the highlights of the evening for me when she received this award, her husband Rand and her daughter Asha and her fiance Corey were there to see her win this award. Her son Sanjay couldn't be there, but I'm sure was there in spirit. And again, it was a very emotional evening, and I want to one more time say congratulations, Rhonda. Very proud to be from Anoka County that night. We all are every day, but that night particularly, it was great to see you achieve and receive that well-deserved award. Join me in a round of applause, please. And secondly, you don't get to talk yet. And I don't get to say that very often. Jerry Soma, our fearless leader, received another very prestigious award. Jerry was recognized with the Association of Minnesota Counties Outstanding Service Award for exhibiting excellence, innovation, and dedication to their work in county government. Now, there were two of these awards given, one to a young lady from southeastern Minnesota who's been in the Human Services Division for a long time. But with Jerry, this is a remarkable 51 years of service, not just to the state of Minnesota, but specifically to Anoka County. A legacy of leadership, integrity, and service which is absolutely unparalleled. Entire career dedicated to public service right here in Anoka County. I was on stage. I was the one who was able to announce his award, so I didn't really get a chance to embellish much because they gave me a script and told me I had to stick to it, which I'm not very good at. Eric knows that. But I will tell you, it was an absolute honor to be on the same stage, but more so every day to sit right here when we have meetings. And he always wants to be in the background. Jerry never wants to be in the limelight, but he always makes sure everything goes so smoothly. And it's a testament to his knowledge about what should happen at the county and what does happen at the county. But it was, again, a prestigious award, very well deserved. I've got a long list of stuff that I should read, but I'm not going to in the interest of time. I want my colleagues to share a thought or two, if you have one, about the success of Jerry's career. The good news is it's not over. We're forcing him to stay a little longer. Whether it was a volunteer decision. He is staying a little longer. But he is a positive leader who sees the possibilities in every challenge facing the county. That's not easy. It's easy to look at a challenge and run the other way. Jerry never does. He faces it head on. It doesn't get put in the bottom of the pile. It's on the top of the pile. He makes the call, he places the email, and it gets taken care of. And he really makes us look good. For that, congratulations, Jerry. Madam Chair, I now fully relinquish the floor.
Well, first of all, I thought we had just 3 items under Chair's remarks, so a little caught off guard. But certainly it was, I was very honored and very humbled to receive the award, and certainly would not have been able to do the things that we've been able to do here without an incredible team, not only on this county board, but our staff as well. You are the ones that go out on a daily basis and do the hard work, and you are the ones on the front line who are truly providing the great customer service and the innovation that occurs each and every day. And, today, the award was just one more example of that incredible work that each and every one of you do. So, I just feel incredibly blessed to be able to serve in this manner. And again, just very honored to work with such an incredible team.
Just a couple of things. Regarding Rhonda's award, as mentioned, I knew about it. Actually, Eric and Ruth helped do some of the write-up, so we have to give them credit for making it sound good. But two things. I knew what the award was going to be, and I was able to watch Rhonda's face as they started talking about her, and it was something I'll never forget. The other thing is, I don't tell Rhonda not to do things very often. And we had a table that was close to the front, and I knew her family was there. In fact, I talked to them beforehand, and they were going to sit in the back. Well, our table was kind of crowded, and Rhonda says, I'll go in the back. And I said, Rhonda, you cannot go in the back. I'm going in the back. And I said, Rhonda, you're not going in the back. I think that's the first time that I've ever told Rhonda she couldn't do anything. But she stayed with us, which was fine. The other thing is, Mr. Palumbo and I, sometimes we just reminisce. Many years ago, he was a young line attorney, and I was a probation officer, a supervisor, and we think, how could that ever be that we're sitting at this table next to each other? It's a pretty fantastic thing. Why does someone stay so long in a county? And I think it's because of what we do. I do these things, how we serve, but everything we do here makes life better for people. And when you have that kind of a mission and a thing to do, that really encourages you to get up and go to work. And that's what has helped me. And plus, the leadership that we have from our county board is just phenomenal. They're fiscally conservative, which I believe in, but they're also willing to try to provide the best service we can to our community. And ultimately, what makes things happen is the staff. We have a tremendous staff. People downplay government staff. We got the best staff that I can ever imagine. I'll put our staff in Anoka County against any public or private staff anywhere. We just do an excellent job. Thank you for your kind words.
And, certainly want to give a round of applause for Tony's award as well. And I think that we would be remiss if we didn't also mention that there was another important award received that night by Anoka County. Actually, our Parks Department received one of the AMC awards as well. And Commissioner Kordiak, do you want to just tell us a bit about that award? It really was the partnership that existed between the University of Minnesota School of Architecture and Design and the work done out at Wargo Nature Center. But
Madam Chair, I'd be happy to respond and comment. It was an exciting night. I was thinking about Jerry's comment about Rhonda. Kind of one by one, the faces of all the commissioners sort of lit up as we figured out what was going on with Rhonda. At the same time, we were there to recognize, among others, John Vondelinde and his innovative initiatives at the Heritage Lab, which is just really, I won't even talk about the Heritage Lab, but it was one more example of the remarkable guidance that Vondelinde has offered to our entire park system. I will tell you that he's well recognized by his staff, well respected by his staff. He runs a great team. He's a leader. I can't say enough about the fine thing that John does, and maybe that award was just one more example of his presence in the park system. But he's a great administrator, and John, I congratulate you on that award. He really was a guiding principle that kind of triggered that whole outcome. But he triggered so many to run even to today's agenda that you've accomplished. He's accomplished many fine things. Thank you for your service. Let's give him a hand.
so needless to say, it's been a great month for Anoka County. And again, the credit goes to all the incredible staff that we have that go out and do their best to serve the public in the best way possible each and every day. So thank you for your incredible work, and it's nice to see that acknowledged. So now we will move on to committee reports, and we'll start off with Management Committee, Commissioner West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have one item on an additional agenda, Resolution 2017-M8, resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement between Anoka County and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Council 5. It's representing the probation officer aid unit for the calendar years 2018 through 2020. And I'd like to offer the resolution.
The resolution has been offered by Commissioner West. Is there further discussion?
Well, Madam Chair, I'd just like to comment that this is a 3-year contract, which we haven't seen in quite some time. And I think that's a good for the whole organization and for the employees.
Right? Roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Brasted.
Aye. And Madam Chair, the rest is informational, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner West. Now we'll move on to Transportation Committee. Commissioner Schulte.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our committee had the opportunity to meet on December 11th at 9 a.m. here in the Government Center, and we have a few items for your consideration today. The committee recommends approval of a resolution requesting a variance from standards for state aid operation for the 2019 Hanson Boulevard reconstruction project. This is essentially to do with the bridge over the Coon Creek on Hanson Boulevard, just north of Bunker Lake Boulevard. It's got some high-tension power lines that run over the top, which makes widening that bridge a real problem. So this will make the trail that goes over that bridge not quite meet current state standards. So the trail will be a little bit narrower than state standards, and this is just acquiring a variance from them so that we can do that.
Okay, is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 2, the committee recommends approval of a resolution authorizing the Minnesota Commissioner of Transportation to be the county's agent in accepting federal funds for eligible transportation projects and entering into an agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation prescribing the terms and conditions of said federal aid participation and authorizing the county administrator to execute that agreement. This is routine and necessary for us to receive federal funds, as the federal government can't give money directly to the counties, so it has to come through our Commissioner of Transportation at the state level. And I would offer the resolution.
Okay, resolution has been offered by Commissioner Schulte. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad. Aye. Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends approval to enter into a joint powers agreement with the city of Fridley for the 2017 traffic signal painting project. This is 6 semaphores, 5 of them on Highway 47 and 1 of them on Highway 65 in the city of Fridley. This is 100% paid for by Fridley. We're just adding them to our contract because of the volume of work we do. We can get them a much better price.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner.
It's my hope that we don't discharge this contract until about May. It'll be cold this weekend.
That's correct.
All right, roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends approval of a contract for the construction, maintenance, and easements over and with Burlington Northern Railroad to upgrade the railroad surface with a grade separation at or near Hanson Boulevard and Coon Rapids Boulevard in the city of Coon Rapids. Actually, I skipped one. That was item 5, but I think we can do that one now and then
Yeah.
we'll go back and do 4.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair, I would just comment that this is something we've been working on diligently for a long time, and Burlington Northern is at the table and cooperating fully, which we thank them for, and we also acknowledge that's not common. hopefully it will be in the future from now on. But Coon Rapids is anxious, we're anxious, the state of Minnesota is anxious. No reason this project doesn't follow the timeline laid out for construction in 2018 and 19, road closure for a very short time, 3 to 4 months in 2019.
Okay. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now back to item 4.
Yes, we'll go back now, and the committee recommends approval to enter into a joint powers agreement with the city of Coon Rapids for the reconstruction of Hanson Boulevard over the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway. And I'll move that.
Is there a second?
Second?
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad. Aye. Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, I'd like to take 30 seconds to recognize Doug Fisher and his team at the Anoka County Highway Division. Oftentimes, I sit up here and read through this, and I do have a really good understanding of what's going on because of them. Without that, I fix cars. But they teach me a lot. We sit through a lot of transportation meetings where I'm constantly learning. He comes to all these board meetings and doesn't often get to say much because he's taught me to understand what this is. For that, thank you, Doug, and your team, Joe, and everybody else. The work you've done this year is stellar, and it'll show in the highway projects. Bunker Lake Boulevard is just a classic example of how well this year went construction-wise. And so, thank you, and thank your team for me.
Thank you, I will.
Madam Chair, that does conclude my report.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to Human Services Committee report. We have one item on the consent agenda, and unless someone wants to act on it separately or have discussion, I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second?
And roll call vote.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Social Services, consider recommending the county board enter into the following case management contract renewals at a rate of $254.17 per month from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2019, with a maximum of 4 units per year. It's for Meridian Services. The contract max is $509,066. For Thomas Allen, the contract maximum is $335,600. And if you recall, we actually have been trying to make sure that we're managing very carefully how many of the cases that we send out for case management there versus keeping in-house, and it's been kind of a delicate balance, and especially with MinChoices that has added a huge workload onto our staff, and so just appreciate the ability to be able to have entities that we can contract to do that case management. So I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Behavioral Health, we have a couple of items. The first is to consider recommending the county board amend the contract with Lee Carlson Center for Mental Health and Wellbeing for a community support program and housing navigation services for adults with serious and persistent mental illness, reverting the unit rate to $72.08 to align with medical assistance, adult rehab, mental health services, the ARMS billing, and allowing third-party reimbursement. There was some miscommunication with the Department of Human Services, had given misinformation to Lee Carlson Center, and so their ARMS certification was delayed. So this is basically making sure that they can continue to get reimbursed. The next item is to consider recommending the county board enter into a contract renewal with Canvas Health for mobile mental health crisis response services in an amount of up to $569,648 from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. And this is just a good reminder that this service is out there and available. And it can really respond to people who are in crisis within their home setting, and many times can avert having that person end up in the hospital. So again, it is a really important service that we offer, and want to make sure that people are aware of that service. So I will move items 3 and 4. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Community Corrections, consider recommending the county board approve the Anoka County Community Corrections 2018 Interim Comprehensive Plan and enter into Community Corrections Act Subsidy Grant Agreement, Contract C0006253, in amount of $4,971,348 from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. And just appreciate the great work being done within our corrections department. And as part of this comprehensive plan and the agreement, we received a document that kind of outlines, some of the work that's been done, and some of the accomplishments and really the statistics and the trends involved in that as well. And so a lot of work that goes into that, and appreciate the great work that's being done. I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second?
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Job Training Center, consider recommending the county board accept the Department of Employment and Economic Development deed funding in an amount of $264,000 to provide rapid response dislocated worker services to laid-off employees at Federal Cartridge. And I just want to say that Nicole Swanson was just absolutely incredible in responding. She literally had like 24 hours. I mean, who says government? Who's slow? I mean, she had 24 hours where she had to prepare and go and present and really compete with other entities to be able to provide these services, and was successful at getting this funding. And this is something that we haven't actually received in a number of years, and being successful at competing for that funding. So just really speaks to the skill that she has in not only putting the information together, but then being able to present it in a manner that was so successful. So hats off to the great work that Nicole did in securing that. And this is a little unique as well, in that because these layoffs happened previously, they have to literally go out, and they were basically told one day that they got the award, and they had to start services like the next day. So that means going out and trying to find these employees who were laid off months ago, and identify who needs those services and who can benefit from the services that they offer. So a lot of things that go into this. So is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries. And then finally, Resolution 2017 HS22, the economic assistance bills, and I'll offer that resolution. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. And that concludes my report. Now we will move on to information technology. Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The IT committee met on the 11th, or I believe it was the 11th, sounds about right. Yes, 11th of December. And we just have one action item is to consider recommending or to consider to the board to approve contract number C0006202 Azeo Group LLC in the amount of $144,000 for the renewal of 5 years of maintenance and support of county-owned fiber at multiple county locations. Now, we had a little bit of an education here on my part because this all began in 2007 through a partnership with the Anoka-Hennepin School District, and the county then began the process of laying fiber in several key locations. Some of those locations include Medical Examiner's Office, the Government Center, Rum River Human Services, Rum River Library, the Sheriff's Office, Bunker Beach Wave Pool, Parks and Activity Center, Bunker Hills Park Campground, Library Support Services, and the Blaine Human Services. And now, the company that had worked with it at that time was Access Communications. Access Communications was purchased by the Zayo Group. Zayo seems to be just consuming everything and anything to do with wires and stuff in the ground. So the vendor that provides the other connectivity services is Zayo, and they provide that to the county. Now, they also own this portion of it as well. So we have to have a contract with them to make sure that we can continue to have a maintenance agreement with them. And so we're working with that, and we felt this was a pretty good deal, $144,000 for, I believe, Susan, how many years is that?
Madam Chair, Commissioners, and Commissioner Gamache, it's for 5 years.
Thank you. I remember that now because the county attorney who was helping us work on that whispered in my ear 5 years. So what we have before us today is the contract. Susan's here to answer any questions. I know we had a lot of discussion at the IT committee meeting regarding the relationship between Zayo and ourselves on other avenues going on, but and future things as well. But this Access Communications was purchased by Zayo, so now that wire that's in the ground, the cable that's in the ground has to be, we have to use Zayo as our maintenance agreement. So if anybody has any questions, Susan's here. She can answer anything that might be in your mind.
There a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Further discussion, or Susan, did you have a comment?
Madam Chair, members of the County Board, for the record, I'm Susan Vreeland, the Director of Information Technology. One thing I can add to this is that I know the question came up, we've got this big Connect Anoka County network, why do we need this fiber? When we put this fiber in the ground, we didn't have that network, but in the case of this fiber, a couple of things. This covers locations like the wave pool, for example, that weren't covered by the stimulus package, but they have an enormous amount of financial transactions in the summertime, so they need that fiber pipe to run those credit cards on the weekend. The other thing this network does for us that our existing Connect Anoka County fiber does not do is it provides a 10 gigabyte connection versus a 1 gigabyte connection. Well, what does that mean in layman's terms? We've got things like unified communications now. We've got locations like the Sheriff's Office that depend on technology for everything. And this pipe provides a connection for those big locations, Blaine Human Services as another example, that need that heavy, strong connection in order to be able to run their business. So this gives the county something, it's a product that we own and gives us a level of technology at those big key locations that the rest of that network does not. So there's a mission criticality behind this network that the rest of the network really doesn't provide, and that's why we're continuing to maintain this fiber. This is an expense that has been budgeted and will continue to be, so this isn't a new cost for me. This is something that's already in place. So it's just a renewal of that agreement.
Okay. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And the rest of the items were informational, so that ends my report, Madam Chair.
Right. Thank you. Now we'll move on to Intergovernmental and Community Relations Committee Chair Report. Commissioner Brastad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would recommend that the County Board approve contract with Lake County, Minnesota for medical examiner services for a 1-year term from January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018. It will automatically renew for additional 2 years. Revenue from this contract will be approximately $15,000 annually. So we've made a proposal to Lake County to provide their medical examiner services. This is a brand-new contract for us.
Fantastic. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner?
just for the edification of those watching, Lake County is in the Arrowhead, way up in northern Minnesota, and we service them through a satellite facility in the Duluth area.
Okay. Very good. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Kodiak,
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The chair recommends the county board support with others the Minnesota Licensing and Registration System, also known as MNLARS, legislation to compensate deputy registrars for reallocating from the existing state fee structure or other appropriate filing fee adjustments to ensure their valued service and continued presence remains in our local community to serve our citizens and the state. This has not been a secret that MNLARS has been frustrating to both residents and county staff. It has been expensive and quite a big debt and burden upon the counties. So we are looking to support with other counties in remedying this, and I'll offer that.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? I would just comment, you may have noticed in the newspaper, there's discussion of this exact same thing, and there seems to be a number of legislators who are already talking about sponsoring legislation specifically to either give the deputy registers additional resources or really, in this instance, to take some of the portion of the fees that the state is getting because they feel as though they haven't necessarily lived up to what they should have lived up to. So nice that the work of the registers is really being recognized.
Madam Chair, I think it's rather important to point out at this juncture that this isn't just other governments funding other governments. These deputy registrars are not always counties. They're very often private businesses, private individuals who are trying to run an operation, and the state government has made it all but impossible for those private businesses, as well as our counties, to operate these license centers. So this is really just a remuneration to those entities, whether it's county or whether it's private, to make sure that they can remain in business for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. In fact, we do have a private one over in my district, and, there are many of these private folks who, that is their livelihood. They are literally taking out mortgages against their own home in order to pay the overtime costs for their employees just to try to keep their doors open. So it definitely is an issue across the state and impacting many lives. Okay, with that, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my report.
Okay, now we'll move on to Internal Audit Committee report. Commissioner Look.
Madam Chair, thank you. The Internal Audit Committee met on December 13th. We only have informational items, but I will note two here. The first being that the Office of State Auditor came in, conducted an entrance meeting for the audit that they're going to be conducting this year at the county. The audit report will be available around June 2018, and it's good to see familiar faces and people that have conducted audits here before, know in Anoka County, know the processes. And then additionally, we do internal audits, and we had a summary report of the Human Services Institution's limited audit of the billing process. And this is where they process a lot of large contracts, a lot of money coming through there. And it's always good to see the internal auditor not making any recommendations at this time. So, and that's thanks to Chuck Denninger doing a great job and helping us navigate through some of these issues. So, thank you, Chuck.
All right.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to Parks and Community Services. Committee report, Commissioner Kordiak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. John said I could call Jeff Perry forward just to help me with a couple items. Many of the items are pretty straightforward, as maybe is item one, but there are a few pieces to this. Jeff, can you just comment about the description of the action that we're taking here?
Madam Chair, members of the board, good morning. My name is Jeff Perry, Park Planning and Resources Manager for Anoka County. There are 4 grant projects that are financed through state and Met Council bonds through the Metro Parks Regional Capital Improvement Program. The first project is for Bunker Hills Central Maintenance Facility, some utility upgrades, water sewer connection to that facility, and some infrastructure upgrades. That's in the amount of $309,000. Project 2 is Mississippi West Regional Park in the city of Ramsey to upgrade an entrance roadway, parking lot, and some connector trails. And that particular grant is in the amount of $415,000. And Project 3 and 4 are reimbursement projects. One is to the city of Blaine for $70,000 for reimbursement for a trail that was constructed 3 years ago. And lastly, in the city of St. Francis, there was a trail gap along Sugar Hills Regional Trail that is also a reimbursement for the city contributions for that project. So, Madam Chair, that summarizes the 4 grant projects before you this morning.
Madam Chair, just comment that all these have been reviewed by the Metropolitan Council, they have been approved, they're in a capital improvements plan. All we're really doing is seeking the capital now to start those projects.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secondarily, this is a purchase agreement, purchase service agreement, Banfield Tavern, our Lock Center. You recognize that we have for numerous years now supported them directly with a small grant. It principally supports their director. Their program is pretty much support themselves, and this is simply a renewal of that agreement.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gamache. Second by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 3, we once again are looking at the aquatic species grant that we got from the state of Minnesota, thinking about how we discharge those dollars. Jeff Perry, over the years, has done a really fine job, even a recognized job by some in Minnesota, managing our own county activities. I think this is kind of the next year of that process. Maybe, Jeff, you can just comment about some of the highlights of what we're thinking about doing again this year.
Absolutely. Madam Chair, members of the board, Anoka County receives an annual appropriation of $140,000 through the state of Minnesota. And the objective is to reduce the spread of aquatic invasive species across Anoka County's lakes, rivers, and streams. Just to highlight, in 2017, the proceeds were used to hire 1 AIS coordinator and 16 boat launch inspectors that were distributed across the county at all of the boat launches across Anoka County. The prevention efforts at the boat launches basically helped conduct inspections. There were over 12,000 inspections that occurred. And there were approximately 500 violations that were also documented. Additionally, the AIS coordinator, as you can see on the images, attended several community outreach events to touch base with the public throughout 9 different cities to essentially disseminate information to the public about preventing the spread of aquatic invasive species in Anoka County. Relative to the previous 2 years of the program, the violation rates have declined, resulting in the public awareness through watercraft inspections and public outreach. So that's good news. And fortunately, in 2017, there were no new aquatic invasive species infestations that were documented across all of the lakes, rivers, and streams. Looking ahead to 2018, Anoka County will continue to build and strengthen the program through prevention efforts, monitoring and early detection, and education. And in conclusion, Anoka County is prepared to effectively implement the 2018 AIS prevention guidelines to proactively prevent the spread of harmful AIS across the freshwater lakes, rivers, and streams. Thank you for your continued support of this program, and if there are any questions relative to the Anoka County's AIS program, I'd be happy to answer those.
Is there an offer for the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Look. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next, you have a number of items here.
Yeah, there are three that are attached. We might just take them, each of them individually, just to give them full recognition. But recognizing that there has been an interest to build a memorial project at the Coon Lake County, previously County Park System. And the community has been rather engaged in that. I'm sure that Commissioner Brasted is quite familiar with that. And so they've been coming forward to support a project to build such a memorial. We recognized an outline, know where it might go, reviewed some planning. I think we can do it pretty much with the cost of the money that's being donated. And regardless, it will serve as a recognized memorial monument and a go-to place in the area there. So we're very pleased to be able to cooperate with them and assist this. We did receive, there's a resolution, Madam Chair, PRK 20, accepting a $5,000 donation from the Coon Lake Improvement Association. This is the Lake Improvement Association. They came forward with $5,000 to support this project. Who'd like to offer it?
Is there an offer for the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
All right.
Motion carries. And the next one?
To support this cause, even the Coon Lake Senior Center stepped forward and came up with what few resources that they may have had from bingo, or heaven only knows what else they did to support that. But Madam Chair, they did provide $3,000 to support this cause. I'm sure they're very pleased to be a part of it.
Okay, is there an offer for the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Right.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye. Motion carries.
And next, Madam Chair, there is a resolution supporting a $1,500 donation from the Ham Lake Chamber of Commerce. The whole community is getting involved, even the business community.
Is there an offer for the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
I would just like to take a moment and just point out what a wonderful partnership this is. It was just somebody's dream idea to install a Veterans Memorial at our Coon Lake Beach Park. And so not only did they, they didn't come to the county and say, I want you to pay for this, I want you to install this. They said, we're going to raise some funds to do so. They want to be active in selling bricks that are engravable, to continue giving to this memorial. And so it really is kind of an unusual but unique arrangement, and we're very thankful for these organizations that have stepped up to the plate.
Right. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brastad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
And item 7, Madam Chair, maybe Jeff, you can comment about the trail system that we're looking at working through Riverfront Park, a project that we're working on this summer and maybe next.
Yeah, Madam Chairs, Commissioners, this is a federal alternative transportation grant that the grant term is about to expire, so we simply need to renew it due to some environmental conditions that we experienced late summer into the fall, so we're having to carry the construction of the project into 2018. And it's simply extending the term of the grant from December 31st of 17 to December 30th of 2018.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
All right.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I think that concludes the action items, Madam Chair. The information items were pretty straightforward. One of them I was kind of interested in. I remember Judge Wargo back in his day, and was very landed and ownership individual, said a building is only as good as its roof, which I believe to this day. And yet we had an episode this past summer of significant hail damage, and while I wish nothing negative to befall upon our insurance company, we do find that we will be putting new roofs on how many structures? Jeff, do you remember that number?
Yeah, Madam Chair, Commissioner Kordiak, 56 different structures, just in the park system alone.
Well, that's a lot of tar paper. Well, we will be working on that, and hopefully the park system will be better off because of it, but I just thought I might comment that, Commissioners. With that, I think that would conclude my report, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Then we'll move on to Property Records and Taxation Committee report. Commissioner Kordiak.
Back to me. We should divide those two somehow. Madam Chair, I am here today. Let me just take a look. There are some action items. One of them is a piece of property, a homestead in Robin West, Commissioner West District. This is a repurchase. We're always pleased to see these properties go into the hands of people who had previously owned them. And
Motion
a motion.
approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
And Madam Chair, our principal assessor is here if we had any questions, but this is once again coming forward to the board, a joint powers agreement for assessing services in various jurisdictions throughout Anoka County. It's fair to say while two jurisdictions may not have had a contract with us, there were two additional ones, not the biggest among us in the county, but they might also step away from our contractual relationship. But many of the cities that we have long had will continue. He is prepared to address that monetarily in his department. But these are the contracts that we seek to renew for the coming year for assessing services, and I will move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The rest, Madam Chair, are informational. I'm done.
Thank you, Commissioner Kordiak.
Thank
Now we'll move on to Public Safety Chair report. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would recommend approval and execution of the 2018 law enforcement contracts for a term of January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018 with these two municipalities. That would be the City of Now Then, contract C0006171, in the amount of $237,768. That contract's been in place since 2012. The other is the City of Oak Grove, contract C0006172, in the amount of $593,855, and that has been in place since 1997.
Okay, is there a motion to approve items 1A and B?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
I would recommend approval of contract C0005318A, amendment number 1, to purchase of service agreement for jail and food management and laundry services with Aramark Correctional Services. This includes a 2.13% increase per meal for a term of January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2018, with the option to renew for 3 additional one-year periods.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
May I comment, Madam Chair? Can I be reminded where the meals are made? Seems to me we used to do something internally in the past years, but I just wonder where Aramark's meals are prepared today.
They are, the sheriff is here.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, Commissioner Kordiak, for the record, my name is Jim Stewart, and as I always say, it is my distinct privilege to serve as the sheriff of Anoka County, and thank you for having me here this morning. The question of where the meals are prepared, they are prepared in the kitchen within the jail facility, and that's part of the struggle that Aramark has is because of the number of meals that are prepared. And I don't need to go into all the details, but the kitchen was designed for substantially fewer meals than what's being prepared in there. And I think that's part of their struggle in getting the food in there.
All right, thank you. Just curious. It's been a changing situation over time, but good. Thank you very much.
Okay, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Consider an acceptance and execution of contract C0006233, the Snowmobile Safety Enforcement Grant between the State of Minnesota, acting through its Commissioner of Natural Resources in the Anoka County Sheriff's Office. The total obligation of the state will not exceed $14,436, with the Sheriff's Office to be reimbursed up to $7,218 in the state fiscal year 2018 for expenses incurred, and up to $7,218 in the state fiscal year 2019 for expenses incurred between July 1st, 2018 and June 30th, 2019.
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Consider approval and execution of contract C0006257, a joint powers agreement for the regional crime lab between the counties of Anoka, Sherburne, and Wright, with a term of January 1st, 2018 through December 31st, 2022, with automatic renewal for an additional 5-year period. This is a change in how we broke up the financing of the lab. Previously, it was based on a population base ratio, and now we are changing to make it more equitable to be based on 60% will be based on the population and 40% will be based on usage of the lab.
Okay.
So that is the new agreement.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's okay. Seconded by Commissioner Kordiak. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And then we have a number of committee appointments. So I think we'll take them all together, but I'll go through and read them. The first is to consider appointing Jolynn Olson, representing District 1, to the Community Health Advisory Committee for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2020. Then we have to consider reappointing to that same committee for 3-year terms as well, expiring December 31st, 2020. Gerald Mackelberg, representing the North Suburban Hospital Board, which actually I think is going away, but he would still be a representative. Jackie Cross, representing a community agency. Lenny Austin, representing law enforcement. John Hanson, representing business. And Cynthia Hiltz, representing schools. And then we have the reappointment to the Community Corrections Advisory Board for 2-year terms expiring December 2019. Robert DeRoche, representing District 2, and Bob Wright, representing District 6. And then finally, consider reappointing Ronald Bolton and Eva Knutson to the Minnesota Extension Committee for 3-year terms expiring January 2021. So is there a motion to approve items 9A through D?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Commissioner Look, second by Commissioner Brasted. Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
we've chosen to appoint Jolynn Olson for the Community Health Advisory Committee. I just want to comment that previously I had appointed Dr. Evans to this position, and I had appointed him actually to 2 different positions. I think we were overworking him. But nevertheless, I want to thank him publicly for his work on this committee, and I know I think he owns a place out in Colorado and visits Aspen, Colorado, visits that regularly. So hopefully he can still fulfill the other capacity, and just want to comment on the fact that we appreciate his willingness to continue to serve. So.
All right. Thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And if there's nothing else to...
Madam Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Just have a quick, since I was appointed to the Domestic and Sexual Violence Coalition of Anoka County for this year, we have been working on an activity that we're going to be presenting on Tuesday, January 9th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Sheriff's Office. It's going to be regarding trafficking training for hotel and motel staff, kind of leading up to the Super Bowl. We've been in contact with both the Sheriff's Office and the County Attorney's Office regarding what some of the things that they've been doing over the years. We didn't want to step on any toes or cross over and do things that are already being done. So the Sheriff's Office has kind of walked us through what they're working on, the coalition that they have put together with City of Minneapolis, the Homeland Security, and all the things that they're working on for the Super Bowl. But this is just an event that this group has put together to try to bring some more awareness to some of the issues of human trafficking, and also to help work with some of the staffs at the hotels and motels within Anoka County. We did find out from a detective at the Sheriff's Office that, actually I think it was somebody from the county actually, informed us that the NFL already has rooms booked in Anoka County for the Super Bowl at hotels. So we already know that they're getting ready and preparing as the time comes along. But this was just an opportunity to work with the Sheriff's Department and some of the detectives that work on this important work, to give the hotel staff and the motel staff that want to participate. We're sending out invitations already through some of the work the county does in licensing of those institutions, so that they will bring some of their people too if they can. We also heard that a lot of times they don't get a lot of participation in these types of things that the Sheriff's Office has tried in the past, but we're going to continue to try to work on it. So that'll be January 9th. More information will be going out on that, but I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Thank you for doing that, and thank you for the work of that committee. You know, so often we have different committees, and sometimes there's some of this great work being done, and we aren't always aware of it. So thank you for bringing that forward. Definitely an important issue to be addressed, and you know, hopefully you can get that on our website as well, and make sure that we're getting information out to the local chambers, and maybe they also can encourage some of the hotel and motel owners as well to look at participation.
Absolutely.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Is there anything else to come before the county board? Not, want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Meeting is adjourned.